Hello everybody, hi, this is Fanny. Hello from Egypt. Okay, so I brought the painting. This is the last video for this painting that I finally finished before I came to Egypt, that I called Key of Hearts. This is crazy because everybody is coming to the event right now. There is like 1,400 people from all around the world coming for this event in Egypt with Matías, and everybody knows him in the city, everywhere, in the stores, people from the airport, my neighbor here at the hotel. So we met yesterday and finally went to visit downtown the pyramids today. So I had the craziest day. I took the painting with me. I wanted to make a video with the pyramids in the background, but it was not possible because it's a Ministry of Culture and you cannot bring cultural paintings, art, symbols, all this stuff with the pyramids in the background because it's a private property, so I mean national property. So after that my day went crazy, and so now we're finding a time to finally record that before I give the painting tomorrow or during the event. So I call Key of Hearts because it's really about the event, about connecting everybody from all around the world. Everybody comes here with such good energy, and I want to tell you a story also that, you know, I had this conversation with my friend Helga the other day, and you know, about money and about traveling, because I travel all the time, and so maybe sometimes people may be like, oh, you know, that must be nice to travel, you know, or you have the dream life, or how can you afford it? Like, I can't, but I still do it because life is meant to be lived to the fullest, you know, and enjoy every moment. And you don't bring the money with you in your tomb, right? Of course, it's good to save and leave a legacy also. That's maybe one thing I should work on, to save up and to actually be able to build something and leave a legacy for your children. But for me, traveling and the memories and reconnecting to places and to people, traveling around the world just to meet someone or live a dream. You know, when I was a child, I wanted to visit all the wonders of the world. That was one of my dreams, and today I was like touching the pyramid, and I was like, oh my god, I am touching a pyramid, can you imagine? Like, and Helga, she said, you know, I remember you when we met and you told me something that changed my life, that, you know, money is meant to be spent. And I'm saying this because after the visit to the pyramid, I was gonna come home to record this video. So we visit, I was on my way home looking for a taxi, and then I see that store there that calls me, and I go there and I found the most incredible papyrus, and I'm gonna tell you everything. And that was it. As soon as I got in there, that was the end. I just like spent a ridiculous amount of money, and you know, I was like, oh, doing it kind of like feeling guilty, you know. And the guy was like, but you know, don't count on my money, you're in Egypt only once, you have to be here to enjoy your experience. And so he was preaching me my exact motto, right? And I was like, oh my god, and I know he's right. And so I just got the most incredible, like, he took me to a perfume store. I'm gonna tell you all about it. Perfume store, I have the most incredible parchment art, amazing. And so that was an amazing day. So this is perfect content for this last session. And so yeah, really enjoying the time in Egypt. The travel was kind of stressful, 24 hours of travel with 3 airplanes, and had to change hotel last night and come back today. And so then I was like, I'm just gonna take it easy today, not do much. And finally, with my neighbors, we're like, okay, let's go see the pyramids. And one thing to another, I had this amazing day. I'm high on scent right now, so perfect energies. So yeah, Key of Hearts is really the awakening, the connection with everybody. Matías is such an angel, and I wanted to, what did I want to name the painting? I had several ideas. I wanted to call the painting, I can't remember, I had a few names. Key of Life, but I don't know, just the name that came was Key of Hearts, right? And the key of life here, like the welcome. And the Egyptians are very welcoming, very nice, very welcoming. And oh my God, can they sell? Like, oh my God, can they sell? It's like you're getting in the store, you're not getting out of here. So yeah, and I did the last touch-ups before I left the US. So you see I did a second layer of glitter all around everything. I didn't actually show you any moment of while I was painting, so I'm gonna do some close-up today. So you see I painting the earth and I put some glitter on the edges to remind the glitter of the symbols. Okay, I did a second layer over each of the glitter, and this is, I always find the best paint that are almost out of stock. Like I get 1 or 2 tubes of paint. That gold doesn't exist anymore. My other mother of pearl, gold mother of pearl paint that I use for the other paintings, Martha Stewart, does not exist anymore. So most of the paintings that I've created, they are unique. You will never, because the best colors, I know exactly which ones are the best colors that look translucent or gold but not too glitch, you know. And so each of the paintings, they're unique. You'll never find a paint as beautiful as that color. Even I was sending the Ujat the other day, and this was a Martha Stewart gold paint that I painted the eye with and the rest of the flower of life. And I wanted to touch up the eye, right? And I repainted it, but I didn't have that gold anymore. I tried all the golds that I had. It's not the same. So I had to do like kind of a mix of 2 golds that I have to get as close to the original gold that I had, but it's not the same. You can tell, you know. And I was like, wow, you may realize just for that, the quality of the paint, that each of the paintings, they are so unique, and you will never see another like this. And then all the energy and the love that is put in it. So this one, there was the flower of life in at first. I explained already that all the religions and culture, when they build their temples, they used to go on places that were already known to be sacred and venerated, to put their temple over it, to collect this energy, right, and amplify with the new. And so I put the flower of life under it, gold, and then the earth and some clouds to make it look kind of 3D effect, like you're looking from the sky. I think I explained all the symbols where I put the earth and the fire on top, kind of like the ceremonies. The pyramids. So the craziest thing about the pyramid, I'm reading this book. Reading this book, Les Secrets de l'Anneau. Les Secrets de l'Anneau by Natalie Chintanavich. So, very interesting theory. You know, most of the time, I paint something, and the same day or the next video I want to do, or just the day before I do the video, I read something from her book or some other book, and it describes exactly what I just did. So that gives me 2 things, 2 information. First is that, wow, I channeled all this. It's like I foresee, or I connect to the Akashic records, to the universal library knowledge when I'm painting. Painting opens your creative channel and your creativity, and time stops. You're in this bubble of space and time and connecting to divine knowledge and universal knowledge, and you're like, wow, that is crazy, everything that I actually know, and I have the confirmation when I read the book. So here I read the pyramid, and she's describing how the pyramids are going to activate exactly like this. with having like a light ray, right, coming out of the pyramid like that. Trying to show with the reflection of the light how the pyramids are going to activate with a light ray, and it's both way, right? You see the energy from the sky coming, anchoring to the earth, anchoring to the element, the Pachamama, everything, earth energy, and then through the pyramids activated, redistribute to the universe. So like a torus, right? It comes in and it comes out, just like a tree, just like us, we're breathing in and out. So it's very interesting that I'm wearing these perfumes today. I never wear perfumes because I'm very sensitive to smell, and you know, the smell is a very strong scent because it comes within you. When you're touching, you're feeling, it's still external unless you feel the energy coming through you. And he was showing me some artifact that I would actually touch the artifact at the store. He showed me some artifacts that as soon as it got to my hand, I feel something like going through my body, right? The touch. But the scent, literally, the smell literally comes within you. So once you have the smell, I can feel it inside. I can feel it inside of my throat. I can feel it. So I get dizzy sometimes. I'm kind of high right now. But it shows that as well. And the Egyptian, so it was amazing because the session, the perfume, I know I'm going all over the place again, but he was explaining how the Egyptians used the oil, right? The temple of Hathor, and they were saying, cover yourself in oil because it will purify you, it will cleanse you, and you will be healed by the oil. So it's the same process, right? So energy coming in, coming out. I'll explain more, but don't want to mix up everything. So that's the first thing, how I connect to everything. But also, this book was written a long time ago, Natalie Chintanavich. So a lot of my references, even though I don't reference her that much because she kind of like to stay not hidden, but she likes to stay at peace, right? So I don't always reference, even though a lot of the knowledge I retrieve in the book. Like I say, I paint something or I write something, I get the book and I read it, I have the confirmation, oh my God, this was the divine timing that this is coming back, it's coming through me, because the knowledge that's in there and that's been kind of like fading out because she had her story as well and her reason that she wanted to stay more at peace, quiet, right? Kind of anonymous. And with the fire letters, it was so powerful because the fire letters, right, that you see right here, it's like the theory of the ring, the Lord of the Ring, the story of the Lord of the Ring is real. It's so powerful that they blew up the Atlantis, right? The Atlantid before, because of that, because of this energy. And she says in the book that the top of the pyramid is missing because it was made of crystals that were so powerful that as long as humankind is not wise enough, elevated in consciousness enough to master this power, they could literally like blow up the earth, right? Or create very unbalances. But at the same time, it's able to create a lot of healing and balances if we know how to use it. So this is why this has gone very quiet. And there was just a certain number of books. So only the people who are called the guardians of that knowledge will be given the book. I have about all the collections. And I know I was given that because after I came back from Peru and when I moved into the United States, the Inca, I know I was Inca in another life. Because as soon as I got to Machu Picchu, I started seeing scenes. I was like home. I went to Machu Picchu. I was like, oh, I know this place. This is home. Like I've been here before, which is different from Egypt, because Egypt, Machu Picchu, it was a calling for me. I wanted to go. I knew I was from there. Egypt, it's more like from a day to another. 3 years ago, it was everything Egypt. Like I was just seeing documentaries. Egypt. It's like Egypt was calling me back. Like, hey, now, next stop, you need to go to Egypt. I painted Egypt without even like, I was never passionate about Egypt. I was interested, but my real passion, call, familiarity was South America, Peru, the Mayas, the Incas. So Egypt is like brought me back here because it's a lot more ancient. So the crystals, right? We're able now to reactivate the pyramids through our own energy because we are the crystals. Also, we have this crystal energy, the new generation, we're more and more elevated in consciousness, lighter, and almost merge with the ether and the crystals, frequency, all this energy that our hearts, all this resonates within the pyramid and activates, and like the light rays, right, come back up. So that was my first thought. It's in divine timing, yes. I was called, I came to the US, I heard about the fire letter, and right away it was like, you buy this, you know this. It's like, it was like a relay. I was relaying the mission that she had to produce all of that for the day that someone would use it, you know, because everything that's written in there, written in 2013, is happening right now. It's like she prepared the way, she paved the way, so then I could take it and I could share that with you. This is incredible, because when I read it, I'm like, oh my God, like you can't even imagine. It's like, I need to read a passage. Okay, just look at that. That's insane. That's big secret. Look at this page. My name, to my name. La quatrième roue de puissance solaire est activée lorsque la lettre de feu Mena est placée en direction de l'ouest. Look, la lettre de feu, the fire letter Mena, F, with the capital letter Mena, and my name is Fanny Menardi. I mean, this is crazy. There is a fire letter with my name. And in almost all the incantations, there is my Mena in it, like the start of my name. Okay, so this is the core, right? Al Mena Kelabas, Metra Deru, Kelerialis, Velam, Balahal, Menaris, Omneria, Alegria, Trederis, Veneru, then Megalet, Tremias. And Mena, Menaris, Menarium, it's like my name in all declinations of Atlantean. And it's funny because Matías was sending a video yesterday explaining the fire letters, the Atlantean letters, right? And these are also a kind of alphabet, but these are more it's interesting because the letters, the Atlantean letters, the Matías was showing, were all based on geometry, right? On the Merkaba, right? And these, they're more based on the human body. If you look at the fire letters, they all look kind of like body shapes almost. So they're really connected to the DNA. They're like personification. They're movements. They're movements. Look at the letters. They're all like movements. They look like capital letters. You see how this one almost looks like a fetus. This one looks like a little V. It makes me think of a little dancer with the little hat like this. You know, I mean, you can imagine them alive almost. See, this one looks like a F with a little hoopsy hair right here. So they all, see, they're alive, this letter. They're alive. And this is my letter, Mena. Mena, with the dot. The only letter that has a dot, it's the letter Mena. Isn't it crazy? So listen. So she's talking about the wheels, right? The wheels, the wheel of solar power. The wheel of solar power. So I have here the solar plexus logo, Rosso e Pico, the champagne. I brought this here. I'm gonna try to take some good pictures. Look at these. I got the Aladdin's lamp. I couldn't resist. Like, oh my God, I have an Aladdin lamp from Egypt, guys. Like, it's happening. I'm gonna be even more magical now. I have no reason not to be awesome in life now. Okay, the genius is with me forever. The solar energy. Okay, so let's rub it a little bit. Make a wish. Get 3 wishes. Okay. Okay. The 4th wheel is particular because it touches not only a terrestrial circuit of solar energy, but also a crystalline circuit that links several centers of reception of the cosmic rays. cosmic and lunar rays of the planet. This means that if you ask to be crossed, gone through by the power diffused by this wheel, you will directly receive the emanations of the cosmic and lunar flows. The force of the suns of the universe, of the universes, constitute one of the pillars of support and to maintain this world. It is one of the keys of evolution, and its integration leads to restructurations in all fields, which appear to be very manifestingly interesting. And this is crazy. This is exactly what I feel that I'm doing. You know, sometimes people ask me, what do you do? I'm like, well, I'm a painter, but it's also so much more than that. As I feel like, you know, I connected a lot of people through all my mess. I was gonna say through all my BS, but like all this energy, and it talks about it as well, of this force. Not so much that it's me that is special, but because through painting, I'm telling you, this is so real. Through painting, all these symbols, they're magic. There is a reason why it was sacred, venerated by the Incas, the Egyptians, and these all civilizations are mysteries, because it unlocks these energies, okay, that is felt by so many. If you look at my art, I'm not the best painter in the world. There are many painters that are a lot more talented, that can make beautiful portraits. You should see me trying to draw a cat. Oh my god. But because those symbols, and I'm so meticulous and precise, and I take a long time. I'm slow also. I'm not that good, and I'm slow. But in the end, the result is neat, sharp, perfect. And I think it's beautiful. For me, I love it. Maybe it's not everyone's taste, but for me, I love this. I can look and be lost in these paintings for hours, because there's so much meaning. See, in the skies, what happens when you go to each one of these skies? Where are you? Is this the sunset of Venice Beach in California? Is this the aurora borealis in the North Pole? You know, is this the nighttime in Seattle? You know, Seattle with this the kind of spaceship tower that they have over there in Seattle. This is what makes me think of all these points of energy, and what's going on here in Florida, and there, my first time in the US, Virginia Beach. But this is my own reference, what it evokes to me, my story. But maybe you look at it, it evokes to you other memories, new places, all this stuff. Bye, good night. Good night. Thank you. So it, people look at it, and even maybe they're not like subjugated by the art itself, but they look twice and they're like, what is that? And by looking, they receive, even if they don't know, you receive the energy, the process, the energy of the symbols and all of that. And by connecting all to each other, we acknowledge each other. You can see I post a lot of stuff from Navy, and it's funny because, you know, when I got married, my husband being in the Navy, at first I thought it was awesome because he was traveling everywhere and it was like super cool. We would meet in cool places, and it only changed my perception when we had our child, and I needed to have the support from him, and he wasn't there. And then I moved by myself, and he was always like his career. He graduated, he made promoted, and then it was just his career. And I left my jobs many times to follow him, and so I made all the sacrifices, taking care of the baby, and for him. So I had kind of like this resentment, right? Because I felt like, and he was in a command where all of his time where he was, the commands were amazing, but just this last one, when that got us divorced, by the way, which it's okay, because now I know there is, better life coming in the future. But that command where he was on the ship and they were not supportive of the families at all, the special CEO guy, and so he would not take holidays, and the people he started to hang out with were really negative for our family and stuff. So I started having this bad image building back, right, to Navy, and mostly that he could have maybe supported me, many times. I'm painting Navy stuff, and I was like, hey, go promote this to your coworkers, go, and he never did. Like, my stuff wasn't really like valuable to him, he was just telling me, hey, you're not bringing any money. Well, Navy has money, go help me, go do something about it. But so now, and now that we're no longer like together, I'm reconnecting with this aspect of Navy, because I do feel now I'm more detached. And so with all the trainings, Dean and Tony and the Resonance Science Foundation, and now Matías here being in Egypt, and all this that is starting to link up and acknowledging each other. That's not that there is like plotting or whatever, it's acknowledging each other. I think my story has also made some people in the Navy, if someone says it, acknowledge, what a family can go through when one is in the service. What's the family, they have services for that to support the families as well, but it's important as the moneymaker and the one who's there to not forget what your family is doing for you as well, and the power of the art. And I have one of my friend Helga again who's telling me, but you realize everything that you're doing like the crypto, you're doing all these videos, you travel everywhere, you're doing the paintings. And on the other side, I have the non-supportive people who are like, oh, but you're not making any money, you leave of your husband's work for many years, so you always have that balance. But for me, it helped a lot that we're creating this connection. And today someone was asking me, neighbor, about the Science Foundation, how the magic, all this stuff now are becoming very much legit because it's explained by science. So even the skeptical, even someone from Navy, for example, or that is more into action, so action and organization, so more in the lower chakras, than to spirituality, now is backed up by science. So even someone who's more skeptical has to admit that all this spiritual, energetic stuff is working. Even Tony Robbins, who is specialist of marketing, sales, personal development, is now writing a book about the new technology of the healing. Okay, and this is turning more and more into the energy, because it's not just the technologies in terms of physical, it's also the words that he uses. Hey, how you doing?
Nice, you?
Good. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
Okay.
You can stay if you like.
I need to the kitchen.
Yeah, okay, good. It's also the words that he used. The words are healing. And when you're reading it, there is the light codes. Just like when you're looking at the painting, you receive the light codes. When you read this, you receive the light codes. All of that. So all our technology, our science, our healing, our medicine, all of this is going to be more and more energetic. This is why I keep showing you this, and I'm like, because this now is the future of the healing, of prevention. It's crazy. And oh my god, I'm going to tell you my experience after at the store, but oh my god, the Egyptians can sell you something like because they believe, like, he was selling me these artifacts, right? And he was like, listen, yeah, sit down. Yeah, come sit down. I'm gonna show you something I don't show to anybody. Like, just because he saw that was interesting in his papyrus, right? And I could tell which one was the good one. And he was like, oh, you know about art and stuff. I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay, I'm gonna show you something. Come here, like a back room. I sit down. I bring you tea. I'm gonna show you all the antiquities things and stuff. It's like, you will never find this anywhere else. Okay, you're here in Egypt. You need to get everything that you can bring back with you and stuff. And I was like, wow. And it made me think, man, this is how I need to sell my painting, because really this is crazy. When I read stuff like that, it's the restructurations, because by acknowledging each other, creating this consideration, okay, for the arts, for who would know, and taught the prophecy says, take them by the arts, take them by the arts. You're going to change the world, you're going to bring the new world, the consciousness, raise, the people who are in the darkness. Because there are people who work, they have a good situation, but life is the same every day. And like for me, I'd die. Like I'd rather be broke with all of my memories, and I spend too much money. It doesn't matter, because I have the Aladdin's lamp, guys, okay? So nothing else matters. Like, but it's like, and he was giving me this oil for the third eye. And he was like, yeah, some people are like, what the point? Why would you open my third eye? Because then you see magic everywhere, and it brings you incredibleness every day. You realize how powerful everything is, and take them by the arts. And so arts is no longer a decoration, it's going to become the medicine. So yeah, so I have to tell you this. So this was the first point, right? How you align with the universal knowledge. You're able to connect to everything. So I realized, I'm like, oh my God, now I'm going to trust my intuitions, because I can heal. I can heal myself. I can heal others. I can be at the right place at the right time. There was a reason. And I go to the store and they're like, oh yeah, I know Matías. Look, you took a picture with him yesterday. Like, okay, look, I'm going to show you my uncle's parchment. I'm going to show you in a minute. Oh my God. So excited, so excited. And the other point is that the truth is always there. Okay, the truth is always there. It's when you align to that frequency that then the door opens. So either ways, I channeled and I have my confirmation, or because I wrote it, because I painted it, because I'm into this frequency, I'm attracted to the answer, the confirmation. I align with it. This is why we keep making discoveries in the pyramids, things that have been studied for centuries by researchers, archaeologists. They still find new stuff in the pyramids. Not that there's new doors, new discoveries, new pathways. They've always been there, but we couldn't see them. You know what they say? You can pass 10 times in front of the door. You're not going to see it until you're aligned with the frequency, and you can know that knowledge. That's why sometimes I'm not worried that I don't have a lot of followers on Facebook, because I know the right ones are there, the people who will understand it. And a lot of people already come and they see one of my paintings, they're like, that's kind of simple, just pass by, but you don't take the time really to look twice. What's there? What's that? What's all behind it? You see how everything connects? It's crazy. And so you can pass 10 times in front of the door, you will not see it until you're ready. And now, because our energy is elevating, we're able to find new doors, new rooms in the pyramids that were always there, but now we allowed the access to it. Okay, so you see it both ways. Our general connection to the universe, our ability to channel to everything, and also the fact that it's always there, everything is there, but your eyes sees it when you're ready for it. Because, for example, you're listening to this is the 4th, 5th video, and you've probably done all the Metatron vibes, the other thing, so there is a lot of preparations. But maybe if you've never heard of any of that, you're like, what in the world is she talking about? What is the flower of life? What is the thought? Like, you're like, yeah, that's nonsense, right? This is why it's progressive. Just like your body, if you would receive all the light codes at once, you would be sick, because your energy would elevate, but your body, physical body, would be like, whoa, where is my soul? Where did it go? And the body gets weakened by that, because your energy field is not in there anymore. It's so elevated that your body then gets weakened. That's why it's got to be progressive, because you elevate consciousness, then your body, you sleep, you eat, you regenerate, you elevate progressively like that. So what was the other stuff? Like this whole thing is crazy, because like I'm telling you, I feel like she wrote this for me. It's not just for me, it's for the entire humanity, right? But that I feel like, what, everything that's written in there, it had to be written already for right now, like this moment right now, like me being in Egypt, reactivating the pyramids. The comprehension of the secrets of time beyond the door of time allows to have a new vision of the development of this world, its evolution, of what it's walking towards slowly. There is no good or bad solutions. There's only possibilities that will make evolve the whole in a certain way or the opposite. So these combinations are to be used to open the door, but also to connect to the power of the ring, to the door of time. See, I have the ring here. This is my grandma's ring. It's a special ring because it has her CM or MC, like initials. Charlotte Manocci, Tali. And to receive certain data, allowing to access this knowledge, this floating knowledge. I'm translating from French. Floating because it's present in all the cells of the earthly life, but it's here waiting to be retrieved, to be awakened and brought back to consciousness. See, everything is in this. Like her books, this collection is incredible. Like, but you also have to you can't just read it, because I read this before, not the whole series, but I read about the fire letters. But it's really when I painted the masterminds painting for Dean with all the fire letters that this woken up, because there were so many letters that every time I would paint it, I would have a headache after 2 hours. I'd be like, wow, that thing is so strong, like just like the perfume on me right now. I'm like, I'm high on it, because it's so strong that then you need to time to integrate the energy to keep going. Just like a UV light. If you go under the UV light, you can stay for 6 hours under the UV light, otherwise you're gonna get burnt. It's the same with the fire letters, right? Exactly the same. You warm up, integrate, and then continue. So you need the practice, you need all the preparation, all the knowledge. I read like 7 of her books. They all say the same thing, and see, she's the creation of the ray, the pyramidal ray. When the pyramid is complete, and she has her 3 crystalline pyramids on top. I was telling you the top of the pyramids is missing, right? So that there will be one day that I have the dimensions, what pyramids we need. When the time is ready, we will bring back these crystals, put them on the pyramid to reactivate them. But I also think it's symbolic. Maybe one day we will find those pyramidal crystals and bring them back on top. If the government or someone really rich wants to buy and go have this installation on the pyramids, right? But I also think it's symbolic. We are the crystals. Us going, bringing our crystalline energies, being infused by this art, being infused by these symbols, this knowledge, going there, we are the crystals. We are the connection. We are the conduct. Okay. Put these 3 pyramids on top, and the golden ring is integrated. Then a light ray, un faisceau de lumière, is proposed from the top to it emits very far in the atmosphere until the cosmos. See? Oh, got some strawberries. My neighbor is so nice. Armando, bring me some strawberries. That was crazy. That was crazy today. Like, people were stopping us to take pictures with us. Like, it's crazy. I'm working and there is a guy who comes and is like, can I take a picture with you? Yeah, sure. And he's like, okay, let's take another picture. And like, he's so excited we're taking a picture. And then there is another guy. He sees that another guy comes, he's like, oh, can I take a picture with you too? I'm like, yeah, okay. Take a picture. And then there's like 4 other guys like, can I take pictures? I'm like, no. And then we keep walking with Armando, and then there is a group of like 2 guys. They're asking, hey, can we take a picture? Oh, okay, take a picture with you too. Okay. And then there's like kids comes to me, like there's a little boy like 10 years old. He comes to me, he's like, can I take a picture with you? Okay. And then the girls and the mom, and then like next thing you know, there's like 20 persons around us, like, can we take pictures with you? I was like, what is going on? That was crazy. I've never experienced something like this. I was like, we're not famous, huh? I don't know. Maybe they took us, confused us for I don't know, or it's just because they like the tourists. But that was so funny. It's like there is a mom who comes and she has a baby child, like 2 years old, right? And she's like, can you take a picture with my son? Oh, okay. It's just like, and then they leave and they're like, you take a picture with her, like this. That was at the pyramids. That was crazy. That was so funny. And like there were like 15 people like following us to take pictures. Then I was like, okay. Then I was like, I want to take pictures with you too. And the girls, and then there was a group of girls, and they're like, we take a picture. I was like, okay, but we take a picture with my phone too. And then we started all taking pictures together, and they were like laughing and stuff. I was like, I'm wondering why is that? You know, my friend Stacy, when she went to Thailand, and she's really incredible. She's an amazing person. And when she went to Thailand, she has 3 boys that are all amazing. Like, she has the best. They were my neighbors in New Orleans, and I was teaching French to them. And the most amazing, well-educated, charming, everything boys, right? And she went to Thailand, and everyone wanted to take pictures with her and the boys. And she was like, why everybody wants to take pictures with me? And they were telling her because in Thailand, there was this like legend or about a mom with 3 boys, and that the women with 3 boys are very special. And she is very special. But so that made me think of this today, and no, that was really, really funny. And so wait. Oh yeah. I'm gonna read this one as well. Okay, so this light ray is equal to a laser, very powerful laser, that is not destined to send signals in space, but to link the planet from certain points, strategic points, that where were built the pyramids, to other places in the cosmos very far, to create pathways, vortexes, and interplanetary networks, interstellar networks, right? And these are connected to our DNA as well. So we are antennas, poles, right? Catalysts as well. So and tomorrow there's 1,400 persons with all this intention of opening this portal right here by the pyramids in Egypt, and with the paintings and all this. Can you imagine the amount of energy we're gonna send tomorrow? So I know you're not gonna be watching this tomorrow. Maybe I'm gonna try to post it tonight. If not, it doesn't matter. You can still connect to this moment in time. I'm sending the energy right now that whenever you're watching this, you're gonna be time traveling to where we are right now. So if you close your eyes and think of being with us at the pyramid, with this bridge coming back to you where you are. Okay, so we're gonna be the center pole in the pyramids, and wherever you are, it's okay, time doesn't exist. Okay, you're traveling through time. creating those bridges to you, and also anchoring, elevating this energy, right? You can visualize a little magic lamp. So we're elevating the entire consciousness of the planet, and they were talking about the time here that, okay, I'm gonna read after about time, but that the time is like a loop, like energy. You can, when you're astral traveling, our models today, we were talking about our past life memories and stuff, and it was like, I don't know if I was just making it up, or just like I thought when I was doing this karmic regression. I want to talk about this too. If I just made it up, or if it's a real memory. I was like, well, maybe you're making a memory. Maybe when you're thinking it, you're actually astral traveling to that moment in time, and you're creating this reality in a parallel universe. This is quantum science. So propulsing this light ray, activating energy, is possible by using the ring of the fire letters and placing it at the top of the pyramid. This is why I painted those pyramids, because we cannot go on the top of the pyramids, but I can draw them and we can touch it. Awesome. Oh no. Oh yeah. And the ring, this is cool because it's funny too, because I used to wear I have a snake ring, right, related to the Kundalini, that is pure gold ring. And for this trip, I wanted to take this one because I was like, I want to connect with my grandmother, like ancestors' energy, and this one has the letters on it, the C and the M. Menardi, actually. And it says in the book that the ring, the original ring, it comes blank, doesn't have the letters on it. And the more you activate the letter and connect to their frequency, they appear, right? And that made me think of that, because I was like, oh, I used to ring that snake ring that has nothing, and now for this trip I'm getting the ring that has the engraving, so symbolically the letters appear. I used to never wear this ring, and now I don't know, the ring, I saw the ring, and I was like, oh, this is the one I need to take. So you see, it is manifesting. Maybe when I come back, I'm gonna have fire letters on my snake ring, but I think this is also how it manifests. I had this Inca ring, the Inca cross, doing the vision board workshop, and I took that picture in front of the parallel world. I had the ring on the picture, and after the picture, I didn't have the ring. I looked everywhere in the gallery, I did not have the ring. And when I tried to get the ring, and I found the ring like 2 months later in my garage, when I lost the ring at the gallery. That was crazy. I know the ring went through dimensions. Yeah, it will be possible, but you will have to know a few elements. For example, to which direction point the angles of the base of the pyramid. And then you will be able to place the ring correctly. Then they're giving like measurements and stuff like that. Okay, but now let's go to the door of time. This is where is kept the secret of time. The time that runs on Earth. Time that has no end since forever, who has never stopped questioning. The door of time is the one that lifts the veil, the mystery, the real mystery on the functioning of time, on the way it's been put in place by the forces of the universe and maintained since the origin. Thanks to the quantum and stellar power brought together, it's possible to liberate yourself from time. It's a grasp and consequences. The door of time is accessible uniquely by transposition of matter, which is teleportation. And I was blown away because I read this like literally the same night that I posted on Facebook before taking the plane to come to Egypt, I posted ready for teleportation. Exactly, ready for teleportation. And then I take the book and they're talking about teleportation. And I was like, wow. Well, first off, imagine that by the time of Egyptians and the boats and stuff like that, when they took like 2 months to go somewhere, or sometimes a year, taking an airplane and being on the other side of the world in 24 hours is pretty incredible, right? So, but I do believe also in my other book, The Masters of the Far East, Life and Teachings of the Master of the Far East by Blair Spalding, that the monks were actually able to teleport. Astral traveling, but also teleport, literally the actual body. It's situated in a place physically inaccessible, and this position is geostrategic to bring it certain security, because the secrets of time can lead to the transfiguration of this world and to its destruction if not used properly. Okay, this is why the door of time is kept in a place virgin of all human activity, in a faraway destination, unreachable, because the ring is the key of the door, like it's the key of all the doors of the ancients. So it doesn't allow you to teleport, but to cross the door once you are in front of its threshold. Crazy. So right now I'm so excited. And then it's funny because it's only a few years after my journey in Argentina that I was brought in front of the door of time. That was a coincidence. It was this period of my life where I was trying to feel this sensation of nearing death. Even if I was immortal, I was curious to know until where this state could take me. Okay, without entering in details, I can tell you that I have verified my capacity of resistance way beyond what you could imagine. It's crazy because I feel the same. Like literally, I was gonna say, like, I wanted to die. Like 2 days ago, I was just like heartbreak and like so doubtful, full of doubt, and I was just like, you know, when you're heartbroken, you're like, oh, nothing matters anyways, and this is when you do the craziest stuff because you're like, I'm so insignificant and nothing matters, and whatever, if I fail, if I spend all my money, if I go broke and I don't succeed, well then I will just go jump from a bridge. Like literally I have this thought. And because last night I was like, man, I forgot I wanted to take my Isis oracle, and I should have taken my my other necklace, like just little details. And I was like, girl, 2 days ago you wanted to jump from a bridge, okay, so I think you're gonna be okay if you didn't have your Isis oracle for the trip. It's just like relativity, okay? So but yeah, so the door of time, right? How time stops. Marcy, my friend, she says that the people who are artistic and paint, they look a lot younger because when you're painting, the time stops. You're connecting to all times, and sometimes I can paint for like 7 hours. I feel like it's been 30 minutes, just like Interstellar, the movie, when they go to a planet and 10 minutes on the planet is like many years on Earth, and vice versa. And some other places, they can stay for years, and it's like 10 minutes on the planet. So time is very relative. And once you're able to master that, time and space, now incredible things. Okay, so I think I read quite a bit, but I'm not going to read the whole book, but it was worth mentioning all of the content of that Natalie Shintanovich. Okay, this is my session where I pay credit to her and speak so grateful that all this knowledge has come like a legacy to me to explain. Because you see, all this You know, I always say that sometimes you see a knowledge and it looks so obvious. You know, when I listen to Matías, or of course when I listen to Dean or Tony Robbins, or all the people that are genius, right? And or the Resonance Science Foundation, it sounds so obvious because they explain it so well, and they're so passionate about that thing that you listen to it and you're like, oh man, totally, yeah, that's so obvious. Yeah, that's life lessons, life things that are within me. I know it. It's not that it's obvious, it's that it resonates with you so much that it's already integrated. But the thing is, like, if it came from you and you had no one else confirm, you would sometimes you value others more than you value yourself. You know, you see someone, you're like, oh, this person is so beautiful, so creative. You know, like my friend Helga, she came with her husband, her 2 boys, from the US to France to start over her master's degree, to finish up her master's degree at 35 years old, 36 years old. No job. She left her job, both left their good job in Kansas City to go live in France. And I'm always like, wow, they are amazing, everything, all the paperwork that they've done, and the kids, and they found a nice apartment, and he's doing his PhD, and she got her master's degree. I'm like, man, they're badass, like crazy. And I'm like, and look at me here, I don't even know what I'm doing, I can't even like pay my bills, I'm so miserable, you know. And then she talks to me and she's like, oh my god, but our life is so, you know, we don't do much, you know, I don't know, blah blah, you know. She's like, and you do so much, like you're traveling everywhere, and you're doing all your workshops, your video, and you're painting, and you're meeting all these good people, and like your life is so awesome. And I was like, wow, I didn't see myself like this. Like for me, I was like insignificant and like not successful, you know. And it made me think of it, because I'm like, you see, you always see others, value others more than you would even value yourself. So when you channel all this, you have all this knowledge and all these insights and power and magic, and all of a sudden you open the book and it says exactly it. You're like, oh wow, but this is legit, this is real. And this is why it's important to create this connection. And now when interdisciplinary, imagine how much stronger it is. When you find this in the science, you find this in the military, because for me, the military is not born to end. There will always be a military, but it's born to change. Okay? When I'm like, yeah, go Navy now. Never been into the Navy more than now that I'm divorced, like I said. But because now there is the Space Force, and the Navy is going to become technology, environment, going to countries to bring the water. For now, their speech is still, you know, they was writing that speech for the new commander, and it was all the missions and how you're here to help the world and take the action, right? You need to be accountable for your action and for your inaction. That hit me, because I was like, sometimes I want to give up, and because not because of others, because I don't feel good enough, or I don't feel like I matter. It's always this self-esteem, right? And then I'm like, yeah, but I'm responsible for my action, but I'm also responsible for my inaction. Like Dean says, you know, if you have this knowledge that people need and you're not giving it, you're screwing people over. And I do believe it. And I'm like, man, all of this, like if I don't tell someone this and I die tomorrow, man, like that's BS. Like there's so much. So the entire letter for the commander is about this, the humility, the service. And there is this little paragraph that says, don't forget that the military is still here to train, to take action and fight, and to go where help is needed, where harm is done and needed. But I thought it was said in a beautiful way, because you know, when they commissioned the ship, my husband's ship, in 2018 or 19, he was on the Polygnatius, DDG Polygnatius 117, and the commission and the senator, right, or the vice president of the United States came and did a speech. And I thought that the speech was really aggressive, right? No judgment or whatever. It's still the Navy. They're still here for war, right? But essentially, they're not here for war. They're here to protect from war. They're here for peace, right? World war peace, for world peace, not for war. War is the tool, the journey, but the goal, the end goal is not war, it's peace, right? And I found that his speech was really aggressive. It was really like, this ship, don't forget that a ship is meant to go to war, and you are trained and you will, go use the force, and I was like, that is not about war, that is about peace, and this was very aggressive, And then when I read this yesterday, and it was just like one paragraph of the entire thing was about human quality and act of service. And this paragraph saying, don't forget that it's about fighting. And I was like, wow, you see the change, the transition of everybody connecting, and all this work that we're doing in prevention, also to elevate the consciousness. Because the more we elevate the consciousness, the less conflict there is. If you have less conflict with yourself, you have less conflict with others. And therefore less war in the world. Educate about culture. Most of the wars in the world, it's economic or religions, right? Or conflict of interest. There is a secret, they have a secret, there's something they want to protect or have access to, and they make a war of border to still have access to it, or for goods like mines or knowledge, right? Or probably the inner earth, or things that are still secrets, because if they were revealed to everybody, maybe most of the world is not ready. That's why we're preparing slowly consciousness. And so yeah, in my opinion, the military will become a support to the environment, going to the countries to bring water, which they're already doing, but it's going to be more and more of that, and less of the war and the fight. It's going to be bringing water, bringing supplies, bringing knowledge, protecting the environment, doing work, bringing strategies. Like when I met my husband, I loved what he was doing, and that's why I was impressed, because they were going to Peru to teach small boat operations, and they were selling, US was selling small boats to Peru, and they were delivering the knowledge with it, how to use the small boats, what are the strategies of small operations and stuff like that. And I thought that was really interesting. I was like, wow, this is badass. Like, you go in all countries in the world to deliver the knowledge and like the product and the knowledge, and I thought this is what it should be about, right? More than this image, because we still have this image in France of like, oh, the military, they just go to countries to make war and injure people. Literally, one of the last images I saw on TV before I moved into the United States about the military was military guys like going to Afghanistan, right? And just like having fun shooting people. So I'm talking loud because you never know, yeah. So, and I was like, yes, this still happens, but these people are injured. Like, maybe they play too much video games, maybe they're not right in their head, they think it's funny to go and hurt civilians, but this is why we need to educate them. We need to bring the art in the military as well. We need to bring the consciousness to realign our chakras. If you're too much into your actions, bring this is why I like also Tony Robbins, because he's got this action mindset and power, but he's bringing spirituality into it. So this is perfect for this audience, military and stuff. And Dean, he's got the gentleness and the softness and the understanding and infinite compassion, and like he can realign in his your energy in just by being in his presence. And when you're lost and depressed, and or you have so much knowledge and value that is unused, that you actually need a path, all of this, because lost knowledge is unused knowledge, is also eats your self-esteem. If you feel like you have so much, you're burning. Sometimes I'm burning of knowledge and want to share with people. Where do I go to say it? I sent my painting to everybody. I write, hey, can I go there? Because I have all this, and I do a lot of videos for my masterminds and stuff. If I didn't, that would consume me from the inside. I need to let it out to leave space for more. That's why it's so important. Yes, so for some reason I have this right now. It's nothing to do with all that, but I'm gonna explain. From this quantum healing regression, right? So I'm gonna talk about thought, because thought, as I mentioned before, is time traveler energy. With the emerald, you see this beautiful emerald, the ancient tablets, and you're able to connect with the past knowledge and all of this stuff. What's up? And so if you're doing like investigations, or sometimes you just have, like I said, like thought came to me, it's like you see something and you're like, oh, this is calling me, like I need to know more about that. And I was watching The Language of Light by Robert Grant, and there was a small extract of the emerald tablets. It's literally, it wasn't even mention where it comes from. I don't know if he was mentioning where it was coming from. It was like a small extract, but I saw it. You know how you watch things and it highlights? Oh my god, I watched this movie in the airplane, Free Guy. Genius. You see, if I had watched this movie years ago, I would have thought, that's a dumb movie, like it's really a comedy. But if you know the background story, oh my god, like all the characters would make me think of people I know, or situations in my life, like when he puts the glasses on, like put your rainbow sunglasses on, and all of a sudden he sees like things highlighted, and neons and things that he wasn't seeing before. And I was like, this is what it is, like the paintings, all this knowledge is like your rainbow sunglasses. Once you, like Robert Grant said, once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Okay? Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. It's everywhere. You see it everywhere. And he puts these sunglasses, and then his life becomes like a video game, and this is how I see the life. like today going to that store, oh my god, I can't wait to tell you. Okay, I'm keeping this for the end, so you watch all the way. I'm gonna show you the most incredible papyrus in the world, like kind of style like that. So how can it make, why? Because you're probably like, okay, that's good, but why? The healing, because when you understand things, then you can take a step back, on your life, and understand a little better everything. So I was doing this quantum regression when I was in New Orleans, and quantum hypnosis, right? So I went there, and I was sick that day. It's funny because when I was like, oh, well, of course I'm sick that day. And why sick? Because when you're sick, then your mind is not trying to control, you're weaker. So you're more into, your body is kind of shut down. Your mind is not here, like trying to interfere. You're not overthinking. Like when you're sick, you're not here overthinking the world and stuff. You're just in the moment, like, oh, I hope I make it through. And by connecting in the moment, in the present, then you can access the universal library. So I go there, and you look cold. I start, so she's doing this guided meditation, right? She's like, close your eyes, breathing and everything. Imagine you're getting out of your body. Okay, you see yourself, you're over the bed, you look at yourself, you're laying on the bed. Like I can see myself sitting on the couch right now. It's called a camera, but same thing, right? See yourself, then go higher and higher and higher. Now you can see your house. Go higher, now you can see the earth. Now where are you? Where are you going next? And then I'm on the spaceship. I'm on the spaceship, and there is like a comedy, right? This council comedy. Did I already tell this story in my other video? I think I didn't. That's why I wanted to talk about it today, because that was important. I did talk about the priestess in Egypt, right? That came and traveled 3 times, but I didn't talk about that one. I went with this council and preparing for this life, right? Oh, what is it going to be next life? And okay, well, next time we're going to make them a drawing, just like Todd said, right? Take them by the art. Why the arts? Just like what I was saying, when you're sick, your body doesn't interfere. The art is one of the best ways to elevate the consciousness, because art has no expectations. Okay? If you're in the Navy, you have expectations of results, right? If you're a development coach, you have expectations of results. If you're a salesperson, you have expectations of results, right? Of course, I have expectations of results because I have bills to pay. But besides that, art, I do it because I just love it. When I started the art, I didn't want to sell it. I didn't want to. Would I think one day I would do workshops? Never. Or masterminds like that would take me here. No, I started because I was bored, like coming to the US. My husband was working all the time. I couldn't find a job, even though I thought I was gonna have this great career as a cultural coordinator, which in the end, it's leading me back to it naturally. But I started painting because I was bored and I always had wanted to paint. I didn't have time because I was either working or traveling all of my life. So you need a lot of supplies and time to paint, right? It's not like you travel with your backpack and you have your paint supplies here all the time. And so I started painting just to pass my time, and I didn't have expectation for it to be beautiful. I didn't have expectation for it that someone else would like it. It was really a pastime. And because I didn't have expectations, you have no pressure. So you don't have your mind here telling you, oh, you should never have done this. Oh my God, someone's gonna be upset. Your painting was pink instead of blah, blah, blah. Now I have pressure when I do it for someone, because I'm like, I hope they're gonna like it. Oh my God, what if they don't like it? Oh. But at first, when you start really for the pleasure, you go to an art gallery, you're not there like, oh my God, I can't believe this artist did that, or oh, no, it's art. Okay, someone will connect to it, someone else will connect to it. So because it's really a thing of pleasure and there is not this pressure, the mind is more open to receive, right? You're looking at this. If I'm like, hey, I'm gonna show you a painting, you're not like, oh my God, like you just want to appreciate for the beauty of it. This is why when you're doing marketing or you're trying to sell something, it's important that the design, it's beautiful. You have a beautiful design, something is going to be attractive, because that's my first thing when someone is trying to sell me something. My first thing is, oh, I don't have enough money, I'm not gonna let them, okay, I'm gonna look, but I'm not gonna let them sell it to me, right? But in the end, if they're really good, they manage it. Just like Dean and Tony, I know, okay, they're gonna sell me an amazing training, I'm gonna get it. When I went to this Egyptian store today with all the artifacts, and they start showing me artifacts, I'm like, okay, I don't have money, I'm not buying anything. And then it's like, oh, hold on, I'm gonna show you something really special. I'm like, yeah, sure, okay, I'm gonna go see it, because I'm not gonna buy it anyways. I'm not here to spend money. I'm just here to look, right? And then he was so good that I just like bought everything in that damn store. But so all this to say, but the arts, there is least resistance, and this can help you for your own flyers, posters, designs, making it beautiful, making it more appreciable so people are drawn to it. So anyways, I'm sick for this hypnosis, and we're there. We're gonna take them by the arts. So I come, and we're like planning of this life, right? And then she's like, okay, now go back to a previous life. And I see myself in Normandy, right? I'm a dad, and if I've already said that, you can pass a few minutes forward, but I think I forgot that. I'm this dad, right, named Nicholas, and with two girls, and I get to the room, they're fighting, right? Him and his wife or girlfriend, whatever, he's fighting, and there's the two girls. They're fighting, and the woman leaves, and she's like, I can't take care of the kids. I'm not feeling it, you know. I'm not able to. I'm not good enough. Whatever. I can't. It's a lot of pressure to have a child. And she leaves, and then I see him like on the table like this, like, you know, doing everything for supporting the girls, and then I see like a fast forward in the future, and I see the girls like taking care of him, and the woman is out of the picture, right? And I was like, at first when I saw this life, I was like, oh, it doesn't really speak to me. Like, I don't know, it doesn't resonate. I don't even know why I'm seeing this. I'm probably making that up, because she's like, oh, even if you feel like you're making stuff up, just keep telling me whatever you see, whatever you imagine and see, and we'll see where it takes us, you know. So at the end of that, I was like, nah, I don't really resonate with this. Like, I probably made that up. And it really wasn't nothing concerned to my life at the moment. But a few months after that, I had Esteban, and I started feeling that feeling of like not being able to handle it, like my old life. I was free, I was traveling everywhere, I was independent, I had a job, I didn't depend on anybody to pay my bills, and all of a sudden I'm here dependent on someone who I'm following him everywhere for his career, and putting all my time for my baby. I'm doing painting, amazing, a new passion, but I don't know, I was like, you know, you're not feeling, you're a mother at that point. You're not a woman anymore. You're a mother and a wife. I didn't have time to do stuff for myself. The only times when really I couldn't, I would leave. Actually, now I would do the same thing I was doing in this other life. I would just go for a week to Los Angeles, go for a week to New York, go for 2 weeks in Egypt, go for 4 days in Miami, okay? Because I needed to step out and cut off with the being a mom, right? And go back to where I am as a woman. And so this is only then that I remember that karmic life, that past life, and I was like, wow, I feel what she was feeling. Like, I can't do it, I need to get out of there, right? I was feeling like both. I was feeling like the woman who's like, I can't do this and I need to escape. And when I was home, I was feeling like him, because my husband was never here. It was always his work. He would like volunteer for stuff, you know, and he's like, oh, I volunteer for this 2-week stuff, this 2-week training over there in Florida. I'm like, well, you could consult me like before, like, I'm not saying you can't, but you could ask me if I'm available for our son for these 2 weeks, because you leaving and having a child involves that one of us is gonna have to watch him. Obviously not you, so me. So the least you can do is say, hey, if I leave for these 2 weeks, will you be able to stay with Esteban? Do you have any plans? You know, some respect. I tell him, I'm like, you know, child is both the parents' responsibility. He's like, yeah, but I work, I make the money, so I can do whatever I want. I was like, well, that's fucked up and disrespectful, because I was working, I gave up everything for them to be here, so my time is not less valuable than yours just because you have a paycheck. You know how priceless it is that you have someone to raise your son full time. So, you know, that's also a message I'm giving if you're the money maker, you know, to money is not everything. Time is valuable as well, commitment, and anyways, raising a child, right? And it's not even that I didn't want him to go. It's never about the what. It's about the how. Like how. It's not about what you did, or it's about how you present it to me. Like, you have no respect, no consideration. It doesn't matter. She's here anyways, or she will still be here anyways. Even if she's gonna be bad, she's gonna be bad. She'll be over it in 3 days. Doesn't matter if I hurt her. No. I was like, I just literally wanted you to ask me, if I was available, like my time. And he was like, why would I do that? And this is when I almost like threw a computer at his face. But anyways, left the house like, fuck you and stuff. But yeah, this is when it started. Like the lack of respect, because he was making money and I was feeling like what I was doing as an artist was very valuable, but I didn't have this money aspect to justify it. And so in the eyes of the world, it wasn't valuable. And this is where my frustration came. And that it created that gap, right? And if you're with someone who doesn't value what you're doing, it can't work. The money doesn't matter. I mean, it does, because you need it to live, but anyways, that's not the point of conversation. But I was so I was feeling like he was leaving and I was left at home in the situation that I had no one to help me with my son. Not a lot of money because I wasn't independent, so I wasn't feeling free. And I was feeling like him in the past life, when he's left at home with the 2 girls and trying to work and make a living and support for the family. And it was funny because I was identifying to both of the characters. And even though in my memory I was him, I had the feeling that I was given, during the regression, I was given to see the life of him. I was actually her. I was the one that left. But I wasn't given to see where she went. But I was given to see what I did to him, what it was for him, not knowing, even though I felt like I was her. That's weird, I know. But then I was like, does it really matter which one? Because I could experience and feel for both the situation. And I was like, now in my life, I'm either paying for, as the woman I did to him, that I'm put in this situation now, that I'm alone with the child and I don't know how to deal with it, and it's been really hard for me to be a mom. Like, I love it. I love my son more than anything in the world, and I love him. He's the best. Oh my God! Like, of course, I will never question this. Like, do I even need to mention like how much I love him? But as of me, you get the point, right? It was really difficult. Or was I him, and I was put again in this situation? So in this life, I could make it, because at this time, in this 17th, 16th century, when I could see it was an old house in Normandy, there was still the candle and everything. If you were born poor, it was really hard to be out of poverty, right? It's not like nowadays we have everything, all the potential to go from having nothing to having everything. There is all the potentials in the world. At that time, it's either you were born in the poor class or the rich class. That was super rare to exit one of the other. Maybe easier to lose everything than actually go from nothing to the rich, right? So by understanding this, then I was like, okay, now my situation that I was feeling unbearable, I know I'm actually healing a generation. And you remember I told you about the imprints, memory imprints, that maybe it wasn't even my life, maybe it was even I was connecting to that specific life just because it was helping me understanding something that I was healing. Just like a situation that I've been living 2 years ago was almost the exact same mirror situation that my grandmother lived when my father was born, right? And I'm not gonna go into details into that, but the same situation but seen from another perspective, and that's something that's hurt her all of her life, that she hasn't healed, because she's 90 years old and she's still talking about. Now she's kind of senile her memory, like she's telling me, oh yeah, yesterday I saw my husband on TV, like her ex-husband, my dad's father, who abandoned him when he was a baby at the hospital, right? I saw him on TV yesterday. Like, she thinks time doesn't exist. So it's not that she's senile, it's that she's near the end of her life, so she's more elevated, connecting to the other world. So she's in between worlds right now. So time doesn't exist. So everything, all the memories are here all at the same time. She's telling me stuff from yesterday that was 60 years ago. So, and that I could see that she hasn't healed. These specific things that are coming back, she's talking to me. That was crazy. That was crazy. Like, I'm living something. I'm seeing something, right, on internet that upsets me, hurts me, right? And I call my grandma and she's like, oh my God, I can't believe I saw him like on the TV, like doing this. But, and she's like telling me the exact thing that I just saw and that hurt me, right? And I'm like, wow, she's in between worlds right now. She can see. I'm so connected to my grandmother. I was like, she sees through my eyes. And now I see. I'm reliving her memories because I'm healing it. Seeing from the other perspective to heal that. Okay, so I'm doing a lot. Our generation, not just me, we are doing a lot of collective healing, family transgenerational healing, because we're past all the survival level that the after war left us in great poverty. We had to rebuild the cities, the structures, find ways to have food. Now we have plastic to preservatives and all this food stuff that maybe this is not the healthiest, but at least everybody, most of the world has food, or we are able to keep the food for a long time. West, a little less, at least try. So we passed that survival mindset. So now we're able to focus on the spiritual and the healing and go really deeper. Okay, we don't need to feed our stomach anymore. We need to feed our soul. I got goosebumps. I guess this perfume thing really worked. So today I go to, okay, so now let's do the fun stuff. So after the pyramids, so yeah, we go to these pyramids. That was incredible. That was exactly like I imagined it, by the way, except that the rocks were a lot bigger than I thought. I go to this store, right? And I enter, and they see the painting. I have a painting in my bag because I wanted to take pictures there, and I couldn't, so that's why I'm recording from here, not from the hotel. And I show them the painting. Okay, so see from closer. So I talked to you in the other video about the elements and the sky. So now look, if you're doing it for the background, I want it to look like a dragon, right? Like a night sky. So you see the stars, the white ones, they're the stars, and I put constellations. So I found constellations on internet. I took my tracing paper and I traced, right, the constellations. I turned it to the other side, and then I put the constellations everywhere. So this one is Lyra, Leo, Canis Major, no, Lyra, Canis Major, the Pleiades, and Leo. Right, you see the white ones, they are the stars, to train your eyes to recognize the constellations. And like I said, after I was like, oh, you know what, that would have looked good, maybe better if I traced the constellations, so we would be able to recognize them. Once you see how you trace them and you see them in the sky, you would be more able to identify them. So if you are painting and you are doing this, maybe you can trace them and And now I'm kind of glad I didn't, because you see there is already a lot going on in the painting, even though it looks really simple with the light rays here. Maybe if I traced the constellation, that would have been too much going on, and the middle one wouldn't have been so highlighted. So everything happens for a reason. I'm glad actually I left like this. I wanted it to be a night sky, but because the background was this color, gray color, the background is pretty light. All right, so it doesn't really look like a night sky. So if you want your effect to be like a night sky, you put a dark blue like that. You see how the difference? Dark blue background looks like a night sky. If you put like a gray background, and then I was like, but you know what? It looks like a dragon. And then Matías was posting about dragon. So I was like, well, there is the dragon energy. So it's meant to be, and he's been following the path of the dragon. See my beautiful necklace, by the way, if you wonder what it is. This is my name in Arabic, Fanny. Fanny, see the constellations? Look at that. It's like the little constellation pearls. These are pearls. So Bahrain is famous for their pearls. Okay, there is this legend in Bahrain of the fishermen going and who would bring the biggest pearl, right? There was this legend of the giant pearl, right, that they had to find, but they have these tiny pearls, like they have these tiny pearls that are so incredibly beautiful. And my co-workers, when I left the Alliance Française, I stayed there for a year and a half. I worked at the Alliance Française in close collaboration with the French embassy and the hotels and stuff, like really close. I mean, really good and close friends. And my good friend Sarah, she was from Bahrain, and they all gathered together to buy me this when I left as my goodbye present. It's my name in Arabic with the pearls, with the little dot pearls. Like, oh my god, I love it. And this is I just got this one. This is an orgonite. I bought this in a store in Jacksonville. Incredible store. It's called Midnight Sun. It's so beautiful. And this is the Sri Yantra. The Sri Yantra, I took it because there was all the pyramids. I was like, oh, this is gonna be perfect for the trip. There's the little turquoise here. I like the colors of this one, so it's like I'm just gonna keep it. I'll amplify all the energy with the gold as well to amplify. So you see, if you want to do a night sky, you do a darker background. If you want it to look like dragon, you can use a skin color or grayish. So you see, I just played here with the combinations of colors. I did some purple, some orange. So I did a zone with more orange. It's clay, actually, clay color. Then I like to have teal and orange and purple, blue together. Then moving to that side, I want it to be the morning, right? So the fresh colors of the morning with some blue and green for the grass, like kind of a landscape, and some nice gray purple colors, and blend them together. See, they're all different shades of purples and grays and blue. See, you get the purple, gray purple, blue, light blue. So all this together, look how beautiful. And a few touch of green to do the contrast. And the stars, I still wanted to put the stars. And then this one is a lot darker. It's got black and cherry and blue. There's blue on all of them. And the top one right here also has more black also. It's going towards, it's progressive, see? So I space them out. I start with the black, I space them out, I start with the blue, and then I do the blue. I do a little zone where there's more blue. I space them, then I do another zone, you see, where there's more orange. So I do by zones like that. I keep some space to mix the colors, so then they all blend together, and it's kind of like a dragon skin. So I'm excited. And at the end, at the very end, I did the second layer of glitter, which doesn't exist anymore. It's like a tube of glitter. Awesome. Oh, something in there. Yes. Second layer, just so now it will stay, really will last for a long time, like a parchment. And when I was painting that, they were talking about these parchments, right? But the problem of the parchments, they are very delicate to handle and maintain over the years. This is like super solid. This will last forever. Okay, this in 200 years, this will still be there, right? And there is like 3 layers of glitter, so it might get a little, in 200 years if it's taken many places, but essentially this is gonna stay. This is gonna stay just like that, the same quality, same energy. It's just gonna, and see, it's a converter. It's not just spreading energy, it's also converting, like a tree. Remember, it's the energy coming in, so it takes all your process, all your work, your healing, transformation, takes it in, and it distributes it through the universe, through the pyramid energy, right? So like this. So I showed them this at the store right next to the pyramids, and coincidence, they recognized the logo, right? They recognized the logo from our Science Foundation, and they're like, "Oh, you're going to the event with Matías?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, you know him?" Like, they're like, yeah, he comes here all the time. Like, look, a picture of me with him and stuff. He's like, he was here yesterday bringing his friend and stuff like that. Oh, so cool too. He's like, oh wow, I love your art. I was like, well, the painting is for him, for the foundation and for the trip, and I mean, mostly for him, right? For organizing that and all of the inspiration. And I know he works a lot with the geometry. And I don't know, I love to give my painting, like, lately I've been feeling like I need to give the paintings. I need to give the paintings so there are certain strategic points to make pillars of energy, right? At several places of the earth, so it keeps the connection, the rainbow bridge. And they're like, and they're like, oh my god, you love the art. Okay, let us show you the papyrus room. I'm like, papyrus room? Say no more. Like, where is this thing? I want to see. Oh my god, I'm so excited. And I get to the papyrus room, but it's not like this like touristic papyrus that you see. This thing is like, you enter the room and it's like, oh my god. I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm gonna buy something. I know it. I'm like, okay, which one? I'm like, I need one of those. I'm like, I'm not gonna be in Egypt anytime soon. And he's like, okay, because you're an artist, I'm gonna give you some papyrus so you can paint on it. So he gave me 2 giant papyrus so I can paint on it. Gift. And then he's like, now I'm gonna show you even more. He gets me to that room, and all the papyrus are glow in the dark. Crazy. And it turns off. Oh my god, it's so amazing. I'm like I'm like in a trance in there. I'm like, oh my god, it's so beautiful. Okay. So I hope I'm gonna be able to put it back in there. I don't want to damage it though. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I will wait till I get home, because I don't want to open it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna wait. Yes. Yeah, he rolled it really well. And I see the stuff is starting to crack a little bit, so I will add to the video when I get home, when I unpack it, because I don't want to damage it, and then I can put it back in there, and then I damage it too for the trip back to Florida. So I'm sorry. Patience. Yes, I will be adding that to the video. But anyways, so yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. It's a giant papyrus with Nefertiti and the cat and Tutankhamun and oh, what's the other guy? Kefre. No. Yes. And the pyramids and all this good stuff, and it's got glitter just like the painting. It's got glitter just like the painting, and I'm like, wow, see, this is a trade from the universe. And he's selling me this stuff for $150. It's like original. It's like a giant original papyrus from Egypt, because I thought they were prints. I was like, oh, they're prints, they're cool. He's like, no, these are originals. So I look from closer, and like, it's like all original, painting by his uncle. Like, this got like hundreds. I'm like, wow, this is incredible. I'm like, I'm so in trance right now. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm taking it right now. So then he's like, okay, I'm gonna show you something else. He takes like his treasure box and he starts showing me all this crazy stuff. I'm like, oh my god, what am I getting into? That's it. And then of course I got this. No, and they were really nice, but he was so good at selling. I was like, I will remember this moment. He's like, look, you're in Egypt to enjoy your time. Don't think about the money right now, okay? Think about you're not coming back anytime soon. What you're bringing with you now is gonna stay with you all of your life, just like the memories. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy what we're sharing with you, what we're teaching you. And he's like, after that, I'm gonna take you to another store, perfume, like a oil store. And I'm like, oh, I'm not really into oils. Like, really, my smell, I really have sensitive smell. I'm like, I'm not really into smells. It gives me a headache. He's like, no, not perfume. Healing oils. It's different. He's like, trust me. It's like, stop thinking of the money. Enjoy the moment. So I disconnected that. I was like, you know what? He's right. He's right. And this is my motto too. And I was just, because I'm scared that the problem is that they don't take cards here. They take cash everywhere, and I don't have cash. I pay everything credit card. So I was kind of like, but we figured it out and got this incredible copper Aladdin's lamp, right? I'm like, wow, from Egypt. Can you imagine? So crazy. So is it broken? No, it's meant like that. So after that, he's like, okay, now I'm gonna take you to the oil store. And I'm like, okay, sure. And we get to this oil store. Of course, I'm like, okay, I'm going just by curiosity, because I'm not gonna get anything. Literally, I don't like scents, so I'm too sensitive. Gives me a headache. We get there, it's like the most beautiful stores with all the Egyptian chairs and all the little oil glass things, all perfectly beautiful. It's like, oh, sit down right here. And it's like, no, I'm gonna take you upstairs. Come upstairs. And it's even more beautiful. I go upstairs. He sits me at the table. I got a demonstration just for myself, right? And he puts this giant like papyrus in front of me and the oil for each chakra. And he starts, I got goosebumps, like he starts talking to me about consciousness and each oil for the chakras, how the Egyptians, they were going to the temple of Hathor to bathe in the oil, cleanse their energy, heal, it's like, so the first oil, and it's exactly all the stuff that I'm into. And it's super rare that you go into the store and they start talking to you about chakras, unless you're in a new age store in the United States or in a hippie store in France. I've never seen that, like this actually be So I wasn't expecting. I don't know what's the religious status here in Egypt and cultural. So how do they mix the religion of the Muslim, being Muslim, with all the background of Egypt, of the Egyptian gods, the Ankh? When I was on the way back from the airport, there was the Ankh everywhere. So I asked him, I'm like, so what's the religion here? Because I see the Ankh everywhere. So it's not a Muslim symbol. So he's like, well, Cairo is special. You still have the mosque and everything, but it's a lot about the ancient culture. It's like the rest of the country is different. But that always amazed me. The countries like South America is very Catholic, even though they have the strongest background culture of Incas, Mayas, and all this stuff. That is contradictory. If you look at, mostly like the Muslim religion, when it's like, no, there is just one God. I remember going to Tunisia when I was 12 years old and speaking to Aida's cousins. And I was like, they were like, oh, you believe in God? I was like, oh, well, not really. Like, there is many. And they're like, no, only mine. There's only one. Only Allah, only one. There's nothing else. So that marked me because I was 12 years old and I was like, oh, wow, they're really, but they were kids too. So, of course, I'm not saying all the many Muslims, they're completely open to accept that we all have the same God. It's just we call him different, we venerate them differently. But we all believe in this higher power and source of the universe that gives us life and makes the miracle every day. So that always amazed me. I'm like, how do you, and in Egypt, in such a strong culture where a lot of conflicts in the Muslim, Israel, these countries for religions, and now you're talking to me about the chakras and the higher consciousness, and how he's like putting some perfume here on my hair. It's like to awaken your crown chakra, blah blah, and then he's like putting this oil, like rubbing on my forehead like this. I'm like, yeah, good, do it. And then it's like now on the throat, and then he puts on my hand, right? So I do the other points, and even there he didn't. He puts on my hand. He's like, okay, put some on your heart chakra, and close your eyes, because when you're smelling, if you open your eyes when you smell, you only smell 50%. If you close your eyes when you smell 100%, because you're just focusing on the smell. And it's true, and the smells are like so soft and perfect. And then he's like, okay, now I'm gonna give you the Isis blend. And I was like, you see, I was upset because I did not have my Isis oracle, but I know she's here with me. And it's not a coincidence that I was in that store. At that point, I'm like completely high on perfume. I'm like, oh, that's fine. Credit card, God. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'm gonna get all these perfumes. Like, it's just so awesome. Oh, yes. And they smell the Isis, like goddess of love and passion. And I smell it. Smells so good. And then he shows me this little decanter, right? Where you put your mix of oil there, and you put a little candle, and it's gonna clean the energies in your house. And I'm like, that's it. I'll take it. That was so awesome, and like that was great, like just for me. It was just me, and he was showing me everything, like yeah, no, that was really cool. And then I came back here to share all that with you. So great day, first day in Egypt. I touched the pyramid today. I'm so excited. So you see all of that, 2 hours. Whew. Yeah, I feel liberated. Okay, so tomorrow we are starting the event. I just wanted to conclude with pretty much everything that came up. I think I've shared a lot of videos. They're all 2 or 3 or 4 hours. There was a lot that came up with this painting, and it's not just this painting, it's also the result of everything that's been adding up to, and that I became more and more certain because of people adding up to that, and the knowledge being more becoming more and more of a giant foundation, right? And we are building this foundation together. So this is like so beautiful and so grateful, and the entire world is changing thanks to us and doing this. So yeah, I'm super excited for the event starting tomorrow. Yes, I will make more video, let you know. Bye guys, thank you for watching. I love you all. And what's next? The event. I'll probably make more video after the event to say some energy point and see how we went with the paintings. You still have the solar one, so I took the little ones to see, because there's a lot of crystal energy, so to see how we actually activate the pyramids. I'll have these in my bags, and I'll see what comes, and then I'm gonna start writing my book, right? Start writing our book to put all this into a more structured writing, because you see this is wow, incredible, the power of crystals. And then this is going art therapy, self-development, communication, love between everybody, all the people, is going to be the prevention work, right? Before the war with ourselves, before the war in the world, all this prevention on us. You know, when I'm feeling angry, most of the time I cut off my social media, because I'm like, it's either I'm gonna, and she says in the book, like, this energy is uncontrollable. It's so powerful that you need a high level of mastery to be able to control it. It's so easy to crush it in both ways, right? It's so easy to get excited and crush it, but it's so easy to crush people, and I don't like doing it. But sometimes you're so hurt within yourself that you stop trusting others as well. And the anger energy, I run, you know. I'm like, okay, I need to step out. I can't, because this is such an uncontrollable energy that it ripples, you know. So I cut off everything, and just like the Free Guy movie, the guy, the video game player, creator, when he's angry, he's like taking it, and he goes like, he breaks everything in the server. And I do that, like, sometimes I'm in my house, I break all the plates. Like, I don't have a lot of plates in my house anymore, so like I break all the plates. And it's so funny, because I recognize in the movie, it really shows like the polarities, you know. You can recognize a little bit of yourself in all the characters, and maybe you will notice people that remind you of people that you know. And it's so funny. Oh my god, this is hilarious. Like, you've got to watch it. And that I was like, this is what we have to master. The book says it, taught all the prophecies, they say it, that we have to master the emotions, because we are the crystals now, and we can influence, transform the world in both ways. So sometimes I'd rather turn it off, so I come back, I do the work of transmuting all of that, most of the times through the painting, talking, art therapy, emotions, and then bring back the best of it. But it's not about hiding it either, because it's part of us, you know. I don't want to pretend that online that everything is good, you know, I'm always happy, because it's not true. I'm extremely loving and happy and confident and positive, and sometimes I'm extremely angry, and I doubt, and I don't trust anybody, and my world is crumbling down, and sometimes I'm on top master of the world, and sometimes I want to jump from the bridge, you know. So I think it's also important to show the both of the faces, because when I was in this depression, I was more of the time down the rabbit hole than up in this person that I usually am, positive and cheering and stuff like that. when I was down this rabbit hole, and I could see, you know, Dean. This is when I met Dean, and he was telling all of his stories, how he had been through the same thing. And I'm not saying, oh, you have to say your bad stuff all the time. No, what I loved about him is that he's cheering, but he was able to transmute all that. But I was like, oh wow, someone gets it. Wow, someone gets it. You know, I'm not alone. Someone gets it. And this is what saved me, because I felt like none of my friend would get it, or they would get it, but they wouldn't tell me what I needed to hear. You know. And Dean has always done that. He's always, every circumstances, when I needed to hear the positive stuff, the cheering, you know, that's what he was doing. When I needed to hear, you know, how life can be miserable, and sometimes he would put exactly the words, and I was like, oh my god, yes, he gets it, I'm not alone. And sometimes that's why I don't hide that I'm angry, because, you know, we all at different stages, and I'm like, maybe because you hate yourself. When you're angry, you put yourself in such anger and despair, depression, all that. You start to hate yourself, because you're like, why am I like this? Why am I such an angry person? Why I let people treat me this way? Or why I don't deserve to be the number one? Like, even their outside circumstances, right? Not everything relies around you and things you need to understand, but the way you feel or whatever. That it's also part of life, right? To be angry. And yes, what I was gonna say is that yes, then you start to like hate yourself more than even you hate others. You hate yourself, you stop the trust in yourself, and you're like, everybody there like happy and super successful, and I'm here being miserable, you know. And this is when it's so important that you tell your friends, you know, how much you appreciate them and they value you, you know. I send most of my painting to people who don't know how much they help me, because every day, like this, like one sentence to say, hey, we acknowledge you, or something that resonates with me, and instantly refills me in my energy every day. You know, I was telling my friend Karin, she's like, but why you don't talk to me anymore? Like, you don't tell us, you know, how can we know what's going on in your life if you don't tell us? I'm like, because when I try to tell you guys, either you tell me it's not real, or you don't believe me, or I don't feel like you guys understand me, or when you do, we call each other like once a month. I was like, it's not enough. Like, I need someone there for me every day. Like, we're humans, we have a heart. The love is the heart of everything. If you don't do it with love, with or for love, there's no passion, there's no, I know if I don't have love, I don't even want to work. I don't care. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm not gonna share my stuff. No one cares. I'm not gonna. Why would I be passionate about this? Like, if I'm the only one, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't want to. If I don't have the love, I don't care if I'm gonna go broke. I'm just gonna go disappear in the jungle. I don't care. You know, even if I die, I'll suffer less at least. You know, it's every day you need to feel the love. It's every day you need to tell your friends, like, hey, you're amazing. And yeah, and this is why there is our community, you know, the social media. It helps a lot. It can put you down, but it can also lift you up. So when I have people like this in my community, that really I see, oh my god, there are people on the same frequency. Oh my god, we are on the same journey. Oh my god, he gets me. Oh my god, this guy always has the right words. Like, he's my mirror. He knows. He feels, someone feels me. Like, we're so connected. Or, oh, look at that. Like, they should be mad at me or mocking me, but look, they're helping me. Wow, there's still good people. Oh wow, look, this guy, like, he doesn't even know me, but him and his girlfriend, they're like always showing, you know, a support, not just for me but for everybody. Like, when it's every day like that, I'm like, wow, what can I do in return? You know, wow. I try to buy their stuff. Well, I'm curious. I want to know what they're doing, but also because I want to support. I want to show where I invest my money. Right, today at the Egyptian store, I was like, yes, it's trouble. I shouldn't spend all this money, but at the same time, I'm like, wow, this guy has so much passion. Like the stuff, the uncle is what is, the art they're sharing. There's so much passion. Like the way he's talking about this stuff, I was like, I want to invest my money into this, right? I want to, and or I do painting, and I send painting as gift, you know, and yeah, because this is how, you know, I show my appreciation. So there is always this passion and this love that is at the core of everything. Love is so important, and there's different kind of love. Right? You have the love for your family, your brothers, your sister, the romantic love. It's the most important. That's what, you know, gives you this spark, this fire, and you want to share it with someone. All of a sudden, you have someone who's, you want to make them proud of you. You know, you're like, oh, I can't wait till, you know, they see that. Like, I want to share this moment with them, and you know, the beauty about life is to share it. And yes, okay, so 2 hours, perfect. Thank you for watching, everybody. Love you guys, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.